WagerTalk continues to be an innovator in this industry, and our WagerBucks program is just one example. Because it's the holidays and we're feeling festive, we're giving you $100 worth of WagerBucks for only $49 using promo code WB49 at checkout. So how do they work? It's simple. You buy credits in bulk at a discounted rate and then apply them dollar for dollar towards your purchase. Use your purchase WagerBucks on $2 Tuesday, $9 packages on Monday. Buy your favorite 5% plays with or without the guarantee. Grab a 7-day all-access pass or even a 12-month package. That's right, purchase WagerBucks can be used on everything with no restrictions at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Due to the incredible savings, this special offer is limited to one per customer. From all of us here at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.
Hey guys, welcome in and a very happy December the 30th to you as the bowl season rolls on, just that much closer to crowning a national champion. But we do have 4 bowl games that we want to talk about here today, including the Citrus, Rose, Sugar, and Texas Bowl. And we're going to do it with 3 guys who are rolling right now in bowl season, including Teddy Covers, Adam Trigger, and Dave Cokin here with you guys today. Teddy, welcome in, my friend. I know it has been a profitable NFL, college football, and bowl season for you, so I know you got something going on over at WagerTalk and or SportsMemo.com for us here this weekend.
Yeah. Bowl season for me at least got off to a very slow start, but we've found our rhythm this week. Perfect so far this week in bowl action. I've got 4 plays loaded over the next 3 days, including my only 5% big ticket of bowl season. You can pick that up right now over at WagerTalk and or SportsMemo.com.
All right, good stuff there. And Trig, boy, congratulations. Been a profitable day thus far for you, man. Coming off a big 5% South Carolina winner earlier today. So congratulations on that. What else you got in store for us here?
Yeah, so that was a nice win. Up to 6-2 on the bowls so far, and I have a couple more 5%. I think I'm going to end up with 3 5% bowl plays total. One goes tonight, and there's one that I'm probably going to add in one of the games still to come. So yeah, they're up on my page, and the 4% that I have up, we're going to talk about on the show, and I'll give that out here. So if you haven't gotten it already, don't worry about it because I'm going to give it out on today's show.
All right, good stuff there. And Dave, coming off a fantastic run, including a 5% winner there in college football with Air Force, that is now 16-4 in all bowl games over the last couple of years. 5-0 last night, 7-0 in the last 48 hours. We can go on, but I know you got something else going on at WagerTalk.com as well.
I've got 2 free college basketball plays. My college basketball plays this year, I'm only selling the best bets, 4%, or if I have a 5%. 3% or less, it's free. So I have 2 tonight. Neither one graded out as a best bet. You can get them free on my homepage. I have a best bet up on the Fiesta Bowl between Oklahoma State and Notre Dame. And I just retweeted. This is a good reason to follow me on Twitter, because you get stuff like this. I just retweeted a 4-second video. It only lasts 4 seconds. And if you don't laugh, you have something wrong with you. Because it's really fucking funny, okay? So follow me on Twitter at Dave Cokin, and you'll see the video for 4 seconds. And then you can unfollow me if you don't want to hear anything else from me. But you'll laugh at this 4-second video. That's it.
At Dave Cokin, as guys, I'm trying to pull it up here because if you hear me laugh, you know exactly where I am right there. Bottom line is, guys, we got bowl games going on right now, including one underway as we broadcast to you live right now with Tennessee getting ready to kick off here against Purdue. But we're going to start, with the Citrus Bowl. Why don't we kick off there, Robert? We will go first and foremost with Kentucky taking on Iowa. Yep, Kentucky taking on Iowa. 45 is an opening total. Not very much, but it is Iowa after all. Opening -1 for Iowa in this one. Of course, this is coming up on Saturday, guys, January 1st. All right, Teddy, Kentucky, Iowa. First one scores wins. What do you think?
It might be. We are seeing some over money at the current total of 44. Some of the leading indicator books telling me, at least right now, that if you like the over, I bet that now it could well go up. And in many ways, these two teams are mirror images of one another. You know, they're both very physical defensive squads who like to run the football. Neither team is great at chucking it downfield. I do think Kentucky has the better quarterback play overall compared to Iowa. Anyone's got better QB play than Iowa. That's why I'll do a touchdown or less, 3 times their last 7 ball games. Anytime they faced a decent defense, this offense didn't work, and that certainly concerns me against the Wildcats. Kentucky's favored here for a reason. I could only lay it with the Wildcats, but again, it's not a game that I'm particularly excited about. And given Iowa's disastrous showing in the Big Ten championship game in comparison to Kentucky beating up 2 weaklings in Louisville down the stretch, you'd argue that there's line value with the Hawkeyes here. I don't think there'll be an easy out for Kentucky. Not a game I'm playing, Joe.
Yeah, it's an interesting game there, Trig. Certainly from an offensive standpoint, we know both teams can play defense. Which offense do you trust more here?
Well, I don't mind the over. Like it almost seems way too easy to look at these two teams and play under. So I could see some value to the over at the number, which kind of seems low. And both offenses are going to have about a month to prepare and figure out how to do something in this game. But from a side perspective, I've been betting against Iowa all season, so there would be no reason for me to stop now. I don't know if I want to lay points with Kentucky, but Kentucky certainly seems like the side I would want to be involved with more here. Teddy mentioned it. Levi's clearly the better quarterback, and when Iowa first started to get exposed earlier this year against Purdue, it was primarily because Purdue could throw the ball, and they had Bell, who was just able to win one-on-one matchups against basically anyone Iowa had to guard him, and that could be Wan'Dale Robinson here. And Kentucky can run the ball too. Chris Rodriguez Jr. is very good, and they run it without they run it considerably well. So the thing that concerns me a little bit with Kentucky, they will turn it over. Iowa's as good as anyone at converting converting turnovers and turning them into points. Kentucky's not necessarily a team I'm in love with, but I think if I had to get involved in this game, I'd do what I've been doing all season and fade the Iowa Hawkeyes.
All right, Dave, it's an interesting game here between these two. I just feel like maybe Kentucky's a better version of what Iowa is. What do you think we're going to see here?
No, I don't agree. I don't think it's an interesting game. I might not watch any of this. Iowa's the most boring team in the country. Okay, I can't stand watching Iowa football. And I'm sorry, Iowa fans, your team is boring. They never have a quarterback who can play. They run the ball, and they stop the run. Well, the problem is that Kentucky stops the run as well. So where's Iowa going to get their offense from? Kentucky also needs to run the ball, and they're not going to run the ball on Iowa. But at least they can throw it a little bit. And the information I have, I always say for what it's worth, but it's actually worth quite a bit. I'll give you a quick example. It kind of amused me yesterday when I saw a tweet fairly late in the afternoon about Tennessee being short a couple of players for their basketball game with Alabama. And it was from one of the beat writers, and he's saying, well, you got the information here first. And that was bullshit, because I had the information early in the morning and got Alabama out at -3, which was a better number. And one thing, I was lucky to win the game because Alabama didn't play well. But the information was spot on. Well, I do have good information in Kentucky, too. And you might see some surprises in their game plan here, which means they might try and open things up a little bit, have some fun. Iowa, I don't know if Iowa ever has fun. It's always just business. I guess I lean Kentucky. I don't want to lay the points. I missed a good number. If I'd have been smart, I'd have played it earlier and gotten a little something with Kentucky. But I probably will leave it alone at this number. But the Wildcats the only side I'd play.
All right, Wildcats, so much for that Spencer Petras Heisman ticket, Teddy. All right, so we're going to move on here, guys, to the Rose Bowl, and this is going to be an interesting one. We've got Utah taking on Ohio State. Ohio State as opening up as a 7-point favorite in this one. That's come down a little bit, 67 as a total. This will be the 5 o'clock Eastern time kick on January 1st. Interesting enough, you got two coaches that both took over for Urban Meyer. Interesting here. And talk to me here, Trig. Call it the Urban Meyer Bowl. Utah, Ohio State. What do you think we're going to see? Pac-12, Ohio, Big Ten here.
Joe, I agree. This is very interesting, and it's like normally the way I look at games and just kind of like the way I tend to handicap. I would typically be on Utah here, and I would have been on it early, and already basically had it locked in because I like to fade teams in the spot that Ohio State's in, where they had the CFP, the college football playoff was their goal, was sitting right there for them. All they needed to do was beat Michigan as a touchdown favorite, and they couldn't do it. And now they're out of the playoff, and they're in another bowl game. But I went back and looked, and Ohio State over the last decade actually tends to show up in these non sort of CFP bowl games. Their only bowl loss in the past decade, their only bowl losses are the national championship game or a college football playoff semifinal. So. And then when I look at the matchup here, I mean that if we're talking just talent alone, Ohio State is easily the more talented team. And I actually was pretty high on Ohio State all season. I don't lay points that often. I did with Ohio State on like 3 occasions. I think I covered all 3 of them. So, I look at Ohio State, the guys the sort of big ticket guys that are out, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, I feel like they might be a little bit replaceable in this particular matchup. And if Ohio State shows up here, they can easily win this game by at least a touchdown. The problem is it's such a dream crusher spot, if you will, that I don't know if I can rely on them showing up, even though it is the Rose Bowl. So for me, at the number it is now, I mean, it almost feels like you're getting a little bit of a bargain with Ohio State. But I know some sharp people on Utah, and so I'm just gonna leave it to these two guys to point me in the right direction here.
It's interesting, Dave. I've heard a number of people refer to Ohio State settling for the Rose Bowl, which is kind of interesting. Most teams would die to get to the Rose Bowl, except for probably Ohio State here. What do you think Ohio State's going to bring to the table?
I can't back them. Now, look, Ohio State's better than Utah. Even with the opt-outs, they're better than Utah. And the power rating in the game clearly says that at 4.5 or 4, I mean, you're supposed to play Ohio State. But we've seen this scenario many times. And interesting, one of the ones that stands out is the Utah-Alabama matchup from years ago, where Alabama just wasn't interested. And Utah beat the crap out of them. And then the Alabama fans used it as an excuse after the game. You're probably right. But the fact is, Ryan Day's going to have to do the motivational job of his lifetime to get Ohio State excited about this. Yeah, it's the Rose Bowl, but the Rose Bowl is a second fiddle bowl now. I mean, it's nice that it's New Year's Day, but this isn't the playoffs. And that's where Ohio State expected to be. They expected to be in the playoff. So they're off. They're in a spot where I think they're going to have trouble being interested. Utah playing really good football at the end of the year. They had no chance to be in the playoffs. So for them, the Rose Bowl is the ultimate goal. I'll take the more motivated team, and that's Utah.
All right, going with the more motivated Utah here. Teddy, what do you think? Not like Ohio State fans travel, but who do you think's got more fans in the stands in this game, and who do you like?
I think both squads will be supported strongly. The Buckeyes will travel well. The Utes will travel well. I don't think this is a game where one team has a clear crowd advantage. When I come on this show, I like to give you guys whatever I have, but I can't when it's a 5-star big ticket. And this is my only 5-star big ticket play of bowl season on the side for this ball game. You'll have to get my opinion over at WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com for this one. Even from a total standpoint, I love to give you guys a total opinion, but I don't have one. So this is a game where I will have to point you to the website. I apologize for not breaking it down, but I got a strong opinion on this one that I just can't give away.
All right, good stuff. In fact, and I do have the numbers, by the way, only 13,000 of the 25,000 tickets Ohio State was given were sold. The rest were given back to the Rose Bowl. Interesting situation there as well. All right, guys, let's move it. Sugar Bowl, here we go. This is going to be a fun one. How about Baylor taking on Ole Miss? Lane Kiffin, Dave Aranda going at it. 50.5 as an opening total. -2.5. Ole Miss opens up as a small favorite, and I believe remains a small favorite here. Dave Cokin, who do you like in this matchup?
I don't really know how healthy the Baylor quarterback is. He's going to play, but he was dinged up. Ole Miss is coming to play. Okay, the fact that quarterback stuck around for this game, and he has sold me that they're very excited about this game. The problem is, I don't know if they're any better than Baylor. I think Aranda's done as good a coaching job as anybody in college football this year. I thought Baylor was going to be pretty good, but I don't know anybody who thought they were going to be this good, including myself. And I don't want to go against them. So this is a short and sweet for me. Pass. Don't have a strong opinion. I'm not going to waste time talking about a game where I have no view.
Okay. Teddy, it's interesting. Aranda was the DC at Ole Miss, so he's got a little bit of knowledge here about the SEC and maybe Ole Miss and the offense here with Lane Kiffin. It's an interesting battle of head coaches as well. Who do you give the advantage to?
I'm in no rush to step in front of a Rebels team that, as Dave said, is properly motivated for this bowl game. And given the issues with Baylor at the QB position, the question marks surrounding whether he's staying or going for the Bears. When you look at these two conferences over the course of the season, it wasn't a great year for the SEC, but the SEC West was brutal. This was not a great year for the Big 12 by any stretch of the imagination. Baylor played the easiest or one of the easiest non-conference schedules out there. Many of their wins were right team at the right time. They've been overachievers all year. And a lot of times you hesitate to step in front of the overachievers that have overachieved this much like Baylor has. But I think there was at least something of a class difference here. I could only lay the very reasonable price with the Ole Miss Rebels and Matt Corral in this one.
Yeah, it's nice to see, Adam. We usually talking about opt-outs. Corral's opting in, which is nice to see here. So Ole Miss has their gunslinger. Who do you like in this matchup?
All right, so I've got a strong opinion here. This is a 4% play for me. I said I'd give it out on the show, and I'm on the Baylor Bears. Actually, let me just backtrack quick. I've loved both these teams this year. My one win total that I gave out on like every Wager Talk show was Ole Miss over 7.5 wins. That got there, and I've been kind of backing Baylor all year because I have a good friend of mine that's a Baylor alum. He had me on Baylor over 5.5 wins, and we kept just kind of pressing with Baylor. But so first of all, on our Wednesday night show, Kelly Stewart said that she's got a source that said Ole Miss might have a little COVID that's not being reported yet. I don't know, how accurate that is or whatnot, but she tends to be pretty sharp, and she said she liked Baylor on our show. I definitely am interested if that's the case. But the thing with Baylor is, they have every single player available for this game because there's not a single Baylor player that's NFL ready where they would sit out. And from my friend that is close to the program, he said that they're insanely excited about this game. This is a massive game for them. Now, Matt Corral is staying. That's huge for Ole Miss, and I'm certain that Ole Miss is going to take the game seriously. But this Baylor team, they have overachieved. But Dave Aranda's done a tremendous job. Their defense is incredible, and they look like the more disciplined team too. Ole Miss, they commit a lot of penalties, and I think if Baylor's defense can figure out how to slow down the Ole Miss offense, which with all this time to prepare, I think they will. Bohannon is going to play. I think he'll be fine. That's just my gut feeling is that he'll be fine. I think Baylor, might be the slightly more motivated team potentially. They turned over Oklahoma State 4 times in the Big 12 title game. This Baylor team's really good. And if that, does play out where Ole Miss is missing a few guys, I think that's even bigger advantage Baylor because as far as I know, Baylor is going to have their full complement of players. So I'm taking a shot with Baylor here, plus 1.5. I like them in this game, and that's one of my 4% plays.
All right, good stuff. Baylor Bears, it is, guys. That leaves us one more bowl game to break down for you here today. And we're going to talk about the Texas Bowl as the LSU Tigers taking on Kansas State and the Wildcats here. -2.5. LSU opens up as a small favorite. The total 46.5. This one going to be January 4th there, 9 o'clock Eastern time for a kickoff there. And Teddy, it has not been a great showing for SEC teams thus far in bowl season. I don't know who the hell's playing for LSU that has not. Who's left that hasn't opted out here? What do you think of this LSU Tigers team going up against the Big 12 and Kansas State?
Well, first of all, Adam Trigger will tell you that at least one SEC team's had a real good bowl season in terms of South Carolina. That being said, I didn't have a lot of strong opinions I could give out on this show today. But this is one that I think is worthy of a wager. LSU's not showing up, okay? From all indications, LSU's not showing up. They don't know who's going to play quarterback right now. The offensive line coach, Brad Davis, is leading a skeleton staff. And by the way, they've been hit with COVID. Big time. Bunch of guys missing. And what I heard, they had only 51 as healthy players as of yesterday. So it's LSU was a last place team in the SEC this year. They've already fired their coach. They've already lost their quarterback. Everyone who can is opting out of the ball game. K-State is not going to physically manhandle this team, but K-State's going to show up and play. And I'm not convinced LSU is going to do that. Wildcats or pass for this better.
Dave, you mentioned motivation earlier. All motivation for K-State in this one?
Yeah, 100%. Don't disagree with anything Teddy said. Kansas State's a winner in the game, and I would lay the points because it's just going to keep going up.
K-State, guys, January 4th here. And talk to us, Trig. K-State or not for you in this one?
Yeah, no, that I would normally look at, like, can I possibly make a case to, like, try to jump in at the peak of the is there an overreaction? Can I like wait till it goes far enough the other direction to jump in with LSU? And I can't make a case for LSU here. They're just going to be missing too many players. They sort of maxed out in that last game of the regular season to get that win for Coach O, and now it's just guys are in the transfer portal. They've opted out. I don't even think they really, that they're going to just be showing up to this game. It's going to be a skeleton crew. And yeah, I wasn't in love with Kansas State, which is why I didn't play it initially. Now it's probably moved too much where I don't really want to lay with Kansas State, but that Kansas State's it's going to be their game to, if they lose it, they'll have to really screw it up, in my opinion.
Okay, K-State it is unanimous here, guys. So there you got it. Now, time to see which one of these games these guys might be leaning towards a little bit more than the others. So go ahead, Teddy, kick us off here, my man. Which one of these might you be leaning towards? We know you got a big 5% ticket in the Rose Bowl, but which one of the other ones might you be leaning towards?
Kansas State. It's not much debate amongst the 4 games that we're going to go through today. The one obviously is a 5% big ticket. The 2 I don't have strong opinions on, and the other one is Kansas State. So we're going to go with the Wildcats. And I don't remember if Dave said it or Adam said it, but the concept is bet this one now. It's only going to go in one direction between now and kickoff.
Yep.
We're not going to see the LSU money even trickling in at any point between now and Tuesday.
No, absolutely not. Dave, how about you? An agreement?
Yeah, I'll use Utah as the best bet here on the show. But I think Kansas State, you can make a case it's Kansas State. Either way, I like going against teams I don't think are going to be motivated. Dave's a terrific coach, but the ticket sales are a real big tip-off. Buckeye Nation is not interested in this game. Okay? I mean, if you've got a chance to get out of Ohio in winter and spend New Year's Day in Southern California, you got to do it, and they're not doing it. I think it trickles down to the football team. So I like Utah and also like Kansas State.
All right, there you go. Double dip in there. Talk to us here, Trig. Which one of these are you leaning towards the most?
Oh, it's by far Baylor. It's a 4% play for me. I think they're going to be ready to go for this game. They're going to have their full complement of players. I like the fact that they can run the ball and they should be able to control the clock, which is going to keep that high-powered Ole Miss offense off the field. So yeah, and if Ole Miss does end up with a couple extra guys out than is like widely available right now, we might even get a little bit better number. But Baylor plus 1.5. I think they fully show up. It's a big game for them, and I like them to win.
All right, there you got it here, guys. Quick reminder, Teddy, 5% big bowl bet up there right now in the Rose Bowl. You can head over to his page at WagerTalk and/or sportsmemo.com and pick that up. Trig also locked and loaded for a couple of bowl games coming up. And, of course, Dave Cokin now 16-4 with his 5% best bets in the college football. His best bets all ready to rock and roll here tonight, guys. Locked and loaded at wagertalk.com. NHL, college basketball, college football, NFL this weekend. Plenty of ways to make it a profitable end to the 2021 year. Make sure you visit Teddy, Dave, and Adam Trigger today, guys. Head over to wagertalk.com. All right, next time we talk, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be just before kickoff of game number 1 for the playoffs with Alabama in Cincinnati. We'll get you guys caught up with any last-minute information that might be coming down. Take a look, of course, at Georgia, Michigan as well. Give you some final thoughts as we get ready to say goodbye to 2021 and welcome in 2022. So on behalf of Teddy Covers, Adam Trigger, and Dave Cokin, guys, best of luck with your plays tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
When WagerTalk acquired the iconic Gold Sheet, the goal was to turn it into a modern, user-friendly product providing high-quality content and data. We're well on our way to achieving just that, and we want to show you how far it's come. From Friday, December 24th through Sunday, January 2nd, enjoy free access to the Gold Sheet. Just head to goldsheet.com and sign in using username free@goldsheet.com and use password free to get access to our NFL, college football, NBA, and college basketball content for the entire week. No credit card, email, or registration is required. Check it out. And if you enjoyed the new and improved Gold Sheet like we know you will, lock in savings now and grab our 2022 football Gold Sheet for just $99. That's right, until January 1st, 2022, we're taking $100 off the regular price of $199. From all of us here at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.